Whew, what's good, everybody? It's your the one and only Casball Marquise. As I'm in the gym, pimpin'. Hey, you know what I'm saying? This weight ain't gonna lose itself. Which I'm not fat, but I'm average size. But for preventative health reasons, it's always best if you get a little smaller, at least in your body weight index. And for those of you, because I can feel y'all coming. Oh, that BMI, it's a racist system, everything else. Hey, look, man, I'm just trying to live, okay? I'm just trying to. Can I live? Can I live? You know what I mean? I'm not trying to live to be 100, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? I just want to, can I at least enjoy, all this money I've been paying these people since, the age of 16? Listen, I want some of my Social Security money back, okay, when I get older. I'm just going to be real. I'm just going to be real. So can I live? Can I live? Okay? All right. So, in today's episode, though, we're going to be talking about a person who taught me something while dating them. That person is by the name of Nina. I am going to mention her in this because I know Nina will never see this video because she's not a YouTube person. Never was, never will be. So anyway, this was, I think, like maybe in 2000. I started dating Nina in before I started dating Amanda. So this was probably like the end of 2015, beginning of 2016 or whatever. Somewhere in that time frame, I forget. And this is when I started doing a lot of business in Laredo, Texas. Like, I was killing it down there, making contacts, doing my thing. I mean, it was great. To a point that, at that time, like, I was doing business even in Mexico. Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of contracts dealing with, basically, like, medications. Like, for those of you who don't know, like, if you on medicine and, like, what you pay for, like, a monthly supply, you can get a yearly supply of that medicine if you was to physically, keyword, physically, go to Mexico, go to the pharmacy down there, tell them what it is. They're going to give you, not the generic, the real version of it, because they make it down there. At least back then they did. So I was making, buku money, with clients, helping them to, basically take advantage of, this medical budget, because a lot of people can't afford the real medicine. They get the generic, and the generic make you more sick and everything else. So, it was something, That's when I started getting into, again, I started getting into consulting. I was making my bones. So, while I'm down there in Laredo, one thing that I loved is that, they actually like brothers down there. You know what I mean? I didn't feel that racist vibe or anything in Laredo. It's like black man's heaven, you know what I mean? Like, brown and black relationships was beautiful. And, to a point, it was even like kind of scary at times. Like, man, y'all really, 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 really love us. Like, even before then, when I was like, just before I was like living down there, where I was like even moving down there, like I had already had like a interest in soccer. And most people who do international business, their sport is really soccer, except for some people who are just diehard Americans. But, soccer, or as they call it in the rest of the world, football, it's an international sport, you know what I mean? So FIFA and things like that, I was already into, you know what I mean? Because my business partners and clients was already into. So, we had that in common, and we had a lot of common ground, a lot of movies, productions, because I'm also a writer. So, yeah, it was beautiful. Things was going well. And through the process of this, of my homegirl who worked for the currency exchange, one of her friends was Nina, you know what I mean? And everything was good. And we started dating, And I started coming over to her house, everything, met her whole entire family, her sister. She had one sister. Her dad was a complete alcoholic, but, whatever. But he was cool, though. He was a functional alcoholic. And the reason why he wasn't an alcoholic wasn't like, he was suffering for some pain or this or that. But he was like a rich boy who got a family and was like, I don't really like none of y'all. And he was just drank his life away. But he was cool though. The mom was more the business is in his name, but I really, make things happen of the family. They actually co-own like a bank with major chips and dip. But in Mexico. So that's about the equivalent of, having a very, 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 very successful business over here. It ain't mega rich like Amanda, but it is like, upper middle class. What I learned and I loved about Nina's family is Nina was, they were very family oriented. Like, there is no condition to what you would do for your family. So for the first time in my life, I learned what unconditional love really was. And yes, Nina is Hispanic, so predominantly Mexican, and it just worked. And I like that about her. One of the things that I realized that anybody that I'm with in future dealings, I can never be with somebody who's not family oriented. You know what I mean? Like, and that's because I came from the opposite, a lack of family. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have a family growing up. I just had people that had the same bloodline who treated me like we were just a bunch of pack of N-words. I'm trying to get this monetization, everybody. Like, I'm sorry. I'm trying to, adhere by their game. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to YouTube. But that's what it was. Now, what I did learn is, all right, like, sometimes, at least while being ingratiating in a Hispanic community household that's so family-oriented, they are a little bit extra, especially when this person clearly, like, they're not going to get it together. They're really abusing the family thing. Like, I can understand being there for your peoples and everything else, but when you got that one cousin who just keeps going back and forth to jail, they never break bread with the family, they just abuse the family and everything else, at some point, you got to cut them off and be like, look, we'll be there for you. We'll come visit you, but we ain't about to sit here and send you no dang money and everything else. We sitting here dipping in our bill money and everything else just because Angel decided he want to go to jail every single, thing. And then he go to jail for stupid stuff. He don't even got to be out here doing crime. Like, no matter how you help Angel, Angel keep on doing it. And Angel wasn't really the dude's name. But that person really did exist. I just used somebody else's name. Sorry, and I didn't mean to sound, because in this PC era, everything is you're not politically correct, and you're being, racist, sexist, this, that. Listen, forgive me, I come from a different time. I'm not saying that I'm right, not saying that I'm wrong. I'm just saying don't delete me. Take me off the cancel culture list, please. But anyway, things with Nina was straight. Why we ended up didn't working out was because Nina was very, like, spotlightish. You know what I mean? Like, she was one of them people who, she loved the spotlight and everything else. And again, I had just been through that. You know what I'm saying? In my early 20s and everything else, like my teen years and everything, the ripping, running, spotlight, throwing, club life, everything else. Like, I had owned clubs. I went from, going to clubs and setting it off, like with my crew, with my family, my street family at that, because like I said, not my bloodline family, to promoting when everybody went to college. Now I'm in there being a promoter, and we're renting out days out of clubs, to owning a actual club. You know what I'm saying? To owning multiple silent partner, owning multiple clubs, showing showcase nights, everything else. To, it just got to so now, by the time, I was dating her, and I'm changing my life again for the better, and I'm, building my mind, my body, and, my spirit, man. I was, I don't want the spotlight. I want to be behind the scenes. You know what I mean? But the spotlight, no. So that was a deal breaker for her. You know what I mean? Because she had come from a family-oriented, very structured life. That too, and her. I found out that being in her family, in her immediate family, at that was a risk, because her sister, baby daddy, listen. Forget dangerous. He kidnaps people and harvests their organs and stuff like that. It's not snitching because it's already on the news and everything else. They already caught him. But yeah, that was what it was. And at that time, he hadn't got caught. He was very, very influential in southern Texas and in Mexico. And it was like, I'm sorry, I can't, Listen, I'll be back. And it was already, and I'm not, scared of any man that walks the earth, because at the end of the day, they put their pants on like I do, one leg at a time. But at the end of the day, when you kind of threaten my life to a point to where you going to make me go back to being my old self, I'd rather just remove myself from the situation, because I ain't throwing my wife away for anything. And then next thing you know, it's a whole war, because I still got people that love me from that lifestyle. And then, next thing you know, there's bodies and, crates of guns and people, it just ain't worth it to me. But shout out to Nina. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see her thumbnail. She was beautiful. She was nice. Definitely learned, which is the moral of the story today. Family oriented. I really, it was ingratiated and indoctrinated in me what a real family is and how a real family move. And I liked it. And I cannot be with anybody who is not family oriented. So thank you, if you ever have a friend to show you this, because like I said, you ain't gonna never see this. Thank you for blessing me with that. Thank you. It's your boy Castlebar Marquise, and we are out. Peace.